Alright, so this question is valid parenthesis, whatever. I did this last night and wasn't very much thorough with the way it had to be done. So, the question is that you have to tell whether an opening is having a closing or not in terms of bracket. You have three brackets, you know, a normal one, a curly one, a block one, whatever you call them. So you are having like those three brackets, and then the thing is, if a bracket opens, it has to close. That's it. If that's the point of every opening, there is a closing. For every opening bracket, there is a closing bracket. The question's done. Then yeah, it's a valid string. So we are having a string input given to us. We need to return a boolean. We are telling that yeah, it is, or no, it's not. So yeah, so basically what has to be done is that this is the question for like the monotonic stack type or stack type, whatever it is. I mean, yeah, we're not maintaining a particular order, so yeah, it's a stack. The point is that here in this question, what has to be done is you always push in the stack. Like for example, let's do it while I say it. Yeah, so first of all, you're gonna have a stack, then you are gonna have a for loop for every character that is in s dot to char array. Alright, so whatever string we have provided, we're converting it to the array of characters, out of which we're taking a character c. So yeah, what we have to do is, if s dot char at, I don't think we need to do this, the char at c thing, because we are taking the character. The enhanced for loop basically takes the element, not the index. So if c equals to I mean this, or c equals to this or this. If this is the case, then simply do dot push c. That's it. Else, so now what if c isn't one of them? Alright, now the thing is that it won't be a valid parenthesis if the closing is coming first. If we don't have any opening bracket and we have a closing bracket as a start, that would be the wrong one, because then it can never be valid, because closing is coming way before. So we'll check if so now if so now in for loop we are having if else statement, and in else we are having multiple if statements. So first of all, first check has to be for opening one. If opening ones are present, push them. If opening ones are not present, then there are going to be multiple cases for which we're going to have multiple if in the else condition. So we're going to see that, alright, we don't have any opening thing happening. So what can be the case? If there is no opening happening, what can be the case is, first, what if there is a closing? Or what if the stack is empty and you are inputting a closing or something? So because if there would have been an opening, they would have been detected by the if condition at the first. If they are not being detected, if they're not being detected by the if condition first, then all you have to do is you have to just return false, because it's going to start with the closing. And even if it was going fine, like suppose you were having an opening, you were having a closing, but then suppose you have a closing, then also it's a false, because then no way you can have the opening before it. So, and if there was an opening and there was a close, it would have been removed from the stack, because yeah, we'll talk about that further. So if st dot is, if it's empty, yeah, if it's empty, return false. Yeah, now we'll talk about the other cases. So if c equals wait, we can store it, right? So my basic thought process is to get all the false statements out there, because I can't do like, the thing is the code is gonna go on and go on, all right, but if I suppose for example, if I'll be returning a true here, I'm gonna say, all right, if I pushed this bracket, the opening bracket, all right, the opening curly bracket, for example, if I push the opening curly bracket into the stack, and then if I encounter the closing curly bracket into the stack, and I pop it, and I pop the initial pushed one, so the thing would be that I have to then return something, and that case only holds for true, that I have to return true, the function would stop. So the thing is that I don't want the function to stop, because there are a lot of things happening after it as well. What if there is a closing bracket coming ahead with no opening, or what if there are more brackets left? So I don't have to stop. The only place I'm going to stop is when I don't encounter the opening bracket, or if the stack is empty and I'm inputting something that is a closing bracket. So yeah, so I'll take all the false cases, because then only I can stop, and if I don't get a false, then it means that yeah, it went well, the code went well. So yeah, if c so yeah, about the storing thing, char top can be st dot pop. Yeah, so if c is equal to this, a closing bracket, and if c is equal to a closing bracket, and if c is not equal to, and if c is not equal to topped, right, return false. And now this if condition is gonna get everywhere. Yeah, just gonna make some changes. So basically I'm like, you store the popped element. What is dot pop gonna do? It's gonna remove the topmost element and then return it to me. So now the top is gonna carry what was the topmost in the array, or in the stack. I could have used peek, but then it would have only returned me the topmost element, it wouldn't have popped. So yeah, I would prefer removing the topmost element and then checking, I have removed it, was it equal to the closing one that I'm getting right now? If it says yes, it's good. If it says no, I return false. That's it. Yeah, because the thing is, whatever I'm going to encounter, whatever bracket I'm going to encounter of the 3 type, I'll be needing to make sure that whatever bracket I encounter, I am popping its start one. There is no need for me to input the bracket. In general, I have to make the stack empty, so I don't have to input any bracket of any sort. I just have to check if I'm getting a closed one, so am I able to pop the initial starting one, and for that pop it has to be on the top. So yeah, basically whatever I put in the input, I'll have to check it. That's why I don't have any if else right here. I have only if. Maybe I can encounter this, so I need to have this bracket on top, right? So yeah, and then all I'm gonna say is, if I'm returning false and everything, here I'm gonna return true after the for loop ends. But the thing is that a bracket can be, a opening can be there, right? An opening can be there for this. I pushed the opening, but then there was not a closure. Like, what if only this bracket was put in, nothing else? That's also not a valid one, but here no case is covering that. So I can say return if stack is empty, because if it was a valid sequence, then the stack would have been empty. So return st dot is empty. Yeah. Now that. Output is coming out to be false. So for the valid cases, it's coming out to be false. Alright, let's see where's the error. I'm saying for char C as a 2 char array, I am saying that, alright, if you encounter this bracket, push it. Cool. Then the for loop will run again. It will encounter this bracket. I'll say if is it this, nope. Then use the else condition. Is the stack empty? No. So this won't be executed. Then I'll have char top as st.pop. I'll pop this input start 1, and then if c was equals to this, and yeah, it was equal to this, and is c not equals to top? No, it was equals to top. So if c was equals to this and c was not equal to top, I'll return false. But here c was equals to top. The thing is that AND condition is requiring that, I mean, this condition won't be executed then, because c was equals to top. So the if condition is gonna be false, so it won't get executed, of course. So I can't be returning a false. So I'll check this statement. This is not the case. This is not the case. I've come out. I'll say is stack empty? Yeah, it is empty because I popped the element. Then how come it's giving me false? I don't understand why it's gonna give me false for this. What can be the possible reason it's giving me false? Wait, should I? Not use the enhanced for loop or something like I equals 0, I less than s dot 2 cat array dot length I plus plus. So if s dot cat at I nope, still the same issue. Why is it having the issue with the right ones? I'm returning is empty. Wait, from where is it getting false? It's getting output false. Only place it's gonna get false is here, or here, or here, or here. Maybe a false condition has been returned the wrong way. Let's see. Else if stack is empty, it can't be empty. I just pushed the element, so it can't be empty. So I won't be returning false in that statement. Then I'm doing cat top as I pop it, then it gets empty. Then I check the bottom line. If cat at I is this, yeah, it was that. And is cat at that, yeah, it is this statement cat I is not equal to top, is not valid because it is equal to top. So this if would be false then, and then it won't be executing the return false thing. Then what else is happening? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I guess that's the issue. else if maybe it was running all the if conditions, and once I can only run one condition. Maybe that was the issue. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Nope, nope, nope. That wasn't the. Now it's getting difficult for me to find out what's the issue. What's the actual issue? If it is that and it doesn't match the topmost element, return false. But it matched the topmost element, so you don't have to execute any of this statement because they're all in else if. Come below. You see, return stack is empty. That is it. What is the issue? It's getting difficult to figure it out. It can't be running again and again in my opinion because I don't think this condition is being executed. It shouldn't be. No, that is not the problem. That isn't the problem. What is the issue then? How much time has been in this question? Oh, that is 20 minutes. So let's figure out. I did this last night. Let's see what was happening. The code says I would say one of the dumbest things I would say, like if s dot char at I is a closing bracket, it can never be equals to the top because top was the opening bracket. So initially the statement should have been and if top is not equal to the opening bracket, my bad. If top is equal to the opening bracket, then it won't be executed, then this would be executed or something. Yeah. What is happening? Yeah. See, I don't like these mistakes. They just suck in the time. Yeah. If I could have done this, then also it would have worked. I peek it, I find it is not good, I pop it. At the end, I'm popping it later. I don't think it's gonna hamper anything. Yeah, it won't. Cool. Yeah. I don't know why it is like so much fluctuation in the runtime. I mean, if you look at the complexity, it's O of n, and space complexity is O of n as well. Yeah, it's O of n. Of course, I'm creating a stack. It's O of n because I'm using a for loop. Yeah, I don't understand one thing. If I submit this again, this thing is gonna bump up till here, I guess. No, alright, I understand. It's not because I'm peaking and then popping, in my opinion. That's why if it would have been this way and this would have been not present, then it would have bumped up to the peak. Maybe a few more operations. That's why it's happening that way. No, but the same solution that I just looked at mine was done last night, and yeah, 2-3 milliseconds. So whatever, the code's right. That's the thing. So yep, stupid mistakes, try not to do it.